Hi guys, my name is Novioku Babatunde Adiola Kende for MyNigeria TV, and currently I'm in the home of a veteran actor, somebody who we've seen on our screens. Believe in me, I read his profile and I saw the contribution he had done with regard to the acting industry, with regard to Nigeria and Ghana, and I felt like this is somebody who deserves to be heard. I watched him growing up, believe you me. Emmanuel France is my guest, and I'm starstruck. Good evening, sir.
Good evening.
How are you doing?
Fine. And how are you doing too?
I'm blessed, and this is a very very opportune moment for me because I saw you, I watched you actually growing up,
Yeah.
and I never knew I was going to meet you. Thankfully, we are here to speak to you about the history behind Nollywood or movies in Ghana and Nigeria. But I would like to kindly tell us about yourself.
Well, the name, as you said, is Emmanuel France. Emmanuel Onyaminiba France. But my screen name that everybody knows is Emmanuel France. Um, well, I would say I'm a Ghanaian in quotes because I was born a Gold Coastian. That is to say, I was born in the Gold Coast,
Uh, where,
far
where were you born? In Nigeria or Ghana?
in Nigeria, at Kano. I went to St. Thomas's Catholic School in Kano. People like Abacha was 4 years my junior in St. Thomas's Catholic School.
Sani Abacha.
Yes, and I think Dangote too. 4 years my junior in St. Thomas's Catholic School. And I think that time we have only 4 Hausa boys in St. Thomas's Catholic School. I was talking of 1947, 49. 49. I started acting 49. Um, then we were being told by Reverend Fathers, Reverend Sisters, Reverend um, brothers who came from Ireland. Their first port of call was in Kano, and there were only two airports in Nigeria then. First port of call, um, Kano. Second port of call, Lagos. Two airports. That's all. So the missionaries from Ireland landed in Kano, and since most of our teachers or tutors like were from Ireland, whites, they groomed us uh, with the concerts that they taught us to welcome the incoming Reverend Fathers, Reverend Sisters, Reverend Brothers, the missionaries, Catholics, for St. Thomas's Catholic School. That was where I started what I didn't know that I would carry on to this moment that I'm talking to you.
So if it wasn't acting, like you said, you never knew you were going to delve into acting. What other career would you have?
I didn't know any career. I'm talking of 1940, 47, 49.
You never had dreams of
What did we know? We were acting play. Even that time, we didn't know that it was called drama. It was concert. So when the Reverend Fathers and Reverend Sisters were coming, we were groomed to perform these concerts, drama plays, to welcome them. And that was how it all started. I didn't know there's any word called career. But God knew that I was going to carry it on as my career.
yes.
And I've carried it on meticulously up to this moment.
So
81 years old now.
yes.
And It has all got well.
It has. Born in Kano.
Yes.
You started acting basically in Nigeria at age 9.
Yes,
Right.
at age 9.
At what point or when did you go pro acting, if I should say, if there's any word like that?
1969.
And what was the first drama or
The
play?
first drama I acted was Market Day, and it was at Keta.
In Ghana.
Yes, in
So now,
1969.
so now you've left Nigeria. You're in
Yes,
Ghana.
I came
When
to-
did you come to Ghana?
I came to Ghana in 1967. I remember the date very well. It was 10th February. I entered Ghana
So you know what?
through.
Okay.
We came by ship. MV Apapa.
So
10th February, yes.
let me
10th
take you
February.
back.
Yes.
You were born 1940 something. You came to Ghana
1940.
1940.
1940.
1940.
Yes.
You came to Ghana 1967. That's 27 years.
Yes.
Can you paint a picture as to how Nigeria was at the time? How was Nigeria? Did you enjoy your
Nigeria was a
stay in
paradise.
Nigeria?
Nigeria was a paradise. Nigeria was a multi-million country with products. Name them. First of all, granules. Nigeria was the greatest producer of granules. Later, UAC, United African Company, brought the factory, and Nigeria became also the greatest producer of groundnut oil. Now, Nigeria was the greatest producer of palm oil. Nigeria was the greatest producer of Benny seeds that was used to make paints. Nigeria was the greatest producer of timber. Nigeria was the greatest producer of hide and skin.
Butter.
Then Leonard skin. And we were producing these things. So Nigeria was very rich. Then all of a sudden, Nigeria discovered oil by the exports.
Before you go there, why did you leave Nigeria? If Nigeria was a paradise, why did you leave? Any particular
I
reason?
am not a Nigerian, I'm a Gold Coastian.
You're born in Nigeria.
Yes.
So technically, you're Nigerian.
No, that's not true.
By birth.
By birth, yes. By birth, partially by education, yes. I stayed in Nigeria for 61 years. That's true. But come to think of it, and I started my career, let me say my career, as an actor in Nigeria, 1949. And in 2014 World Cup, thereabout, no, before then, I think 2 years before then, the president also recognized me for the roles I have played in Nollywood, and was giving me an award. And somebody in the panel, who is a colleague as an actor, said, "Oh, but he's a Ghanaian."
You remember the name?
Yes. So he's a Ghanaian. This was one of those whom, when the Nollywood thing started, I was instrumental to his upbringing. When I mean his progress and prosperity as a
Success,
a
basically.
success in this.
Right.
In
So
industry.
I've heard you say in certain quarters that you basically, or you took acting or Nollywood to Nigeria.
Yes.
And a few people might argue that exactly is not the case.
That is not true. I went to Nigeria with a script of 4 Osofudazi stories, which I was writing, because then I was writing for the Osofudazi group that was very popular in content and in popularity. And I was able to convince the then head of state, Achampon, that head of state, I think we called him head of state that time. This story that is making so much impact here in Ghana, we have a lot of cinema houses in Nigeria, and they are all showing Indian films. Now, the type of impact these stories are making here, if we take them to Nigeria and show them in this cinema house, we'll make foreign. It's okay, go ahead. So I compiled 4 stories and put them together, took it to him. He saw it. Yeah, he sponsored it, at least it's typing and whatever at that time.
How much?
That time, computer was not too popular. So it was typed on typewriter. And I had a volume, big volume. Took it to NT. And Dr. Zokoli, then the director of programs, right? Yes, your name is Kwesi? I said, yes. Kwesi France, because that was my traditional name. Okay. Can I see what you have? Then I presented the volume of story. This is what you have. Okay. Come on Monday. This was on Friday. Come on Monday, and I'll tell you what we can do. Monday, I was there. Friday, that Monday, that was Friday. The Monday, I was there. He said, well, I read your stories, your story at the weekend, and I think I love them. But this is everything Ghana. We're in Nigeria, even though the situations are
Similar.
and but can you convert everything Ghana here into Nigeria? I said, madam, I was born here. Say, hey, okay. We would want a story every fortnight. I said, no problem. I said, I was writing these things every week in Ghana, titled Sofudazi, but I can convert them into Nigeria. It's okay, go ahead. Monday that I came, she said, I've gone through your story. They are wonderful. All right. How much are you going to demand for copyright? I said, give me 10,000.
10,000 naira.
I said, give me 10,000 naira. Said,
That's a lot of money.
Wait now. He said, you think we are in Ghana here? My friend,
take your tea.
Write a check for him for 2,000. Only television copyrights. All right, we are going to give you 2,000 for the copyrights. And how much do you think we can pay you for each episode? I said, okay, you can give me 5,000. So my friend, we are not in Ghana. We are not talking of CDs. So all right, you give him 350 naira per episode. In fact, I ended up getting 8,000 for that story.
A champion would have been impressed.
No, before he's been removed. I think at that time even he has been killed by Rollins. At that time, there was a revolution. So we didn't even live to know that I made such money. Do you understand?
And did
It
you
was a revolution.
Yes. Did you come back to Ghana, or you stayed in Nigeria
No,
producing the content for NTA?
What I did was, the ambience was not good enough for me to write those stories, as they said, in my handwriting because they loved it. And it wasn't professional enough for me to do. So I rushed back. How much was the fare from Nigeria to Ghana? 60 naira. So I flew down, came down, and calculated. Within 3 months, I had their 26 episodes. Even though they queried me that that was not the agreement, but they took it and they loved it. And they converted the the name of the title of the what do you call it, series to Glitters of the Rainbow. And that was how I stayed in Nigeria. We were so impressed that they, what do you call it, brought two experts from BBC London, Victor Pemberton and Victor Pemberton as a writer and David Spencer as a director to handle that series. Before we realized, there was a second series after that. With that, with my first contact with him, um, Tears by Moonlight started.
Ooh.
Yes. So I was the first editor.
I remember Tales.
Yeah, Tears by Moonlight. I was the first script editor for NTA. That is far back 1980.
Far back 1980. I'm sorry to cut you.
Yes.
1967, you were in Ghana.
Yes.
1980, you were in Nigeria.
Yes. I came back to Nigeria.
You came back to Nigeria.
Yes.
And when did you leave Ghana in 1967 to Nigeria in 1980?
From Jos, after the riot, there was some great riot, big riot that led to the war.
The Biafra War.
Yes. Not Biafran War, the Nigerian War.
Okay, the Nigerian War. There's no Biafra.
There's no Biafra.
The Nigerian War.
Yes, the Nigerian War.
What do you make of the Nigerian War? Did you think it's something?
It was.
Did they have
senseless.
a point? It's senseless.
It was senseless, and it is what has turned Nigeria into what it is today. Out of greed, I'm sorry to say.
The Igbos were greedy.
Well, the eastern region was greedy because the oil was discovered not even in the eastern region. It's in the west. In the Midwest.
Yeah,
at that time, Midwest, and the River State, Bonny especially.
Yes.
And the Igbos thought if they could capture the east, because then we had north, west, east. So if they could capture this thing, they will found their own country, Biafra, and they have the oil. That was Ojuku's dream. And it's a long story for us to go into. That was the Igbo's dream, so that they could capture the east and make it their own. Because now they think they've got it. But nature is not like that. So then, Ojuku's father was the second richest man in Nigeria. The first richest man was Alassane Dantata.
That's Dangote's grandfather.
No, they were not even related. I don't know whether they were related, but I know Alassane Dantata was the richest.
He was actually Dangote's grandfather.
I don't know, but I know that he was the richest man. His son, who also was very popular, was called Mahmuda Dantata, and so on and so forth. And when Ojuku's father died and he plunged his father's wealth into fighting to get Biafra, and he didn't get it, he ran away and flew to Ivory Coast. So it was, I think 6 million people died
Yes.
So it was a futile mess. They didn't get the Biafra. He said, okay, uh, if God wanted us to be looking back, he would have put two eyes at the back of our head, and so on and so forth. So he didn't get it. Now, for some youths who didn't know the implication of what happened, and they are still saying, oh, Biafra, Biafra. Since Ojukwu couldn't get it, no, no, it can never happen again. I'm sorry to say. But that's the truth. Let's look at the mirror as it is.
So let's take a look at the political landscape between in Ghana and Nigeria at that time.
Yes.
I know Nigeria obviously was in turmoil because of
Yes.
the war,
Yes.
and
Was
fortunately
still very rich.
was still very rich. Was
First
still
time
very rich.
77. Do you know how many people came? And apart from that, the whole world was there. And the actors, whoever, the participants, people took Mercedes Benz to their countries. I mean, overseas, everything they gave, televisions, anything, they took to their country. Nigeria was so rich, and one of the Gawan said, well, we got so much money that it is not the money that matters, but how to spend it. That was what the colonial masters had and knew that, yes, excuse me to say, these people are fools. You show them how to spend the money. And before you realize, that time, one CD, one naira was, no, sorry. That time, one, what is very Nigeria?
Naira.
1 naira was 7 and 6.
Dollars?
Yes, it was, no, $1
Yeah.
was 7 and 6.
Or 76 Naira.
No, was 7 and 6 kobo.
Ooh. Ooh.
Yes, that's 7 shillings.
Yeah. $7. That's dollars. $7.
$1.
And something
It's 7 and
cents.
6.
Wow.
It wasn't up to $1 was not up to 1 naira. It was 7 and 6. That's 7 shillings.
Shillings is for pounds. That's UK money. So
Yeah, but we are using
dollar.
West African currency now.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, shillings. Okay.
Where West African currency. It's a long, deep story. At that time, when they had election, Awolowo was writing money, was writing his campaign on Sky with aeroplane. Vote for Awolowo on air. Where did he get the money? It's a long story.
So there's politics in Nigeria. Obviously, I mean, terrible, but Nigeria was rich. There's politics.
Nigeria is still rich.
There was politics in Ghana as well. Then Rollins came into the picture.
No. Before Rollins, Nigeria struck, right? And you don't say that on air. But Nigerian struck. Where did they get the money? Don't forget, we are all using the West African currency. Is that correct? And all of a sudden, Ghana has gotten independence in 56.
Yeah.
Are you listening? Ghana has changed its money to cedis, and it's the same money that is being used in Nigeria. So there was a political language of the solidarity that Awolowo was a communist, Nkrumah was a communist, and so on and so forth. There was a solidarity of how Oduduwa got their money to become as rich.
Okay. So you're basically linking Kwame Nkrumah and Awolowo.
Do you highlight this? There are things I can't say here, but I know because I interviewed the Minister of Finance, Nkrumah's Minister of Finance,
And
on one-on-one.
and
Huh?
what did he disclose to you? And who was that?
I was a journalist.
So kindly share.
Well, Ghana needed no more West African currencies. Therefore, they have their cedi. So every money was transferred uh, to Nigeria.
Awolowo.
Are you listening?
And that's Awolowo,
Awolowo.
the western region.
Yes. And Awolowo went to prison for 10 years
Yes.
for treasonable felony. Why? Arrest my case.
Interesting.
Yes.
So
I know so much.
now, did you like JJ Rollins, the late JJ Rollins?
I was standing by his side when he buried those who fell during his coup. And because it was a coup, it was a revolution, real revolution. Thank God I read Tales of Two Cities, the French Revolution. So I knew what was happening. And I was carrying a Bolex camera, which I shouldn't. Because I didn't have a license, even though I was writing for the Osofudazi group from Broadcasting House. Only the military and special people were allowed to enter that military cemetery. But I was there with him, by his side.
Do you like him?
I
People
loved him.
complain
Don't
that
talk about life. I loved Rollins. I still say, God will bless Rollins, wherever he is. God, come. As a journalist, and I'm sure whatever you are spiritual. Either you are a Muslim or you are a Christian, you are a Muslim. And for God to allow you to stay on the throne for 19 years without a scratch upon all the attempts they made and so on, Gaddafi tried his best, and so on. And you must be spiritually endowed for God to allow you to stay up to the end of your life and die at 63 after taking government at 29. That was God's hand. The country, I was here. And that is what took me back to Nigeria. And it is that the guy was protected somewhere.
by what?
Eh?
He was protected by what?
My belief by God. If God does not allow you, you can't make it. 19 years old, in power. All those who tried, Sankara and the rest and so on and so forth, after him, what is do? Something do.
My history is terrible.
Yes.
Me.
They all died. The only one living is the one in the Higgs now, which Obasanjo deceived
Yeah.
and captured. Right? Yes.
Rollins, you like.
I loved.
You loved.
Yes.
People might not share your view. What would you say to people who
Don't share my view.
said Rollins
they
was
don't
a
know what
monster?
happened. We were eating, what do you call it? Beans and rotten beans. What I mean with, if I may quote, with kokoro and everything.
Kokoro.
Beetles. Yes. And they were bringing, sending us, what do you call it? Yellow corn from America. You eat it, and exactly how the hen would throw its waste, give its waste out, and so on and so forth. You are like the hen.
That's graphic. So let's leave the political space.
Yes.
Let's come back to acting.
Yes.
Then the Nigerian movie industry became vibrant, of course, with the help.
Very vibrant.
That was in the 1990s and co.
Yes.
And now let's speak about the veterans in the industry. There was, or there is, Olu Jacobs.
I
There
was there
is
before
Joke Silva.
Joka Silva, before these ones came. In fact, it was Lola Fani Kayode who started.
Is that Femi
Yes,
Kayede's mother, the politician,
yes,
ex-aviation minister, his mother? Lola Fani Kayode.
yes. No.
Okay, okay.
Lola Fani Kayode was a producer, beautiful, intelligent. She started Mirror in the Sun. Mirror in the Sun. I was the first editor of Mirror in the Sun. And before we had this, that was 1981. Yes, Mirror in the Sun. And they discouraged the poor girl. She had to go run back to London. And Mirror in the Sun was #1 in Nigerian soap opera. Before we got Samanja, we got Samanja. What is this other one? Samanja is the Hausa one. Jebudaya. Is it Jebudaya? Yes. The guy who speaks on top of.
His tongue.
Yeah, I think it's Jebudaya, yes. And even it wasn't. I can't remember the name of the guy who actually created that Zebudaya's story. What was it? What was that? The title of that thing says? I can't remember.
Okay, so I mean, you were instrumental in Nollywood,
Yes.
and share with us your experience. I know you've worked with Olu Jacobs, Joke Silva, the legends like yourself in the industry.
We were
When-
in Mirror in the Sun. We
With Olu
started Mirror
Jacobs,
in the Sun.
with Olu Jacobs.
We were there when he came. He came with Joker Silver. They were actors in England. They came from England and joined us in Mirror in the Sun.
What did you make of him or the both of them when they came into the picture?
They were husband and wife, and because they stayed in England, they acted in England, they learnt in England, they studied in England. Their diction was not too Nigerian. It's more Western than, because, of course, they've stayed with the white man for long, and they've acted with the white man for long, and so on and so forth. So they were good, and at least short of inferiority complex,
Yes.
they were good. They were better than those of us who, at least, even though we went to school in Nigeria, we couldn't be like them. And even those who went to the university in Nigeria, especially from the what do you call it? University of Port Harcourt, that's where we had most of the actors who did theater arts and so on and so forth. And it was like, then all of a sudden, the spare part traders came to see that there's money in this business. Oh. You put 5 million and you are making 15 million, 20 million, and so on. So they plunged into it. Most of them were not schooled, but they made money, heavy money, very, very, very heavy money. And in fact, Ebwe, I can't remember the other name, who first shot, what is this? Oh, why am I forgetting this thing now? The Igbo, there was an Igbo play which he shot. Before then, it is the Yorubas who were doing concerts and so on and so forth, especially with Pa Ogunde.
Yes.
Yes. And Ade Love and the rest. It was the Yorubas. He brought his first Igbo concert. And before you realize, it made a big box office. When we talk about box office, the type of money film makes. But next to Jaws, no. Next to Jaws was Ogunde's, I can't remember these things.
That's fine. We can pardon you.
Jaws was that year. Jaws was the greatest box office, had the greatest box office returns, the biggest money in films. Then, don't worry.
That's fine. So there's Nigeria, there's Ghana.
Yes.
You've spoken about Olu Jacob Joke Silva.
Yes.
How they basically brought in their foreign diction. into
Dictions
the
and
space.
at least
Yes. So
superiority. But they
let's-
were good.
Yes, they are still good.
And thank God I had the opportunity to act with them, to be their editor, first editor, Mirror in the Sun. Yes.
If now they were watching, what exactly will you say to them? I mean, Olu Jacobs and Joke
If they were what?
watching this interview, or if they are watching this interview,
Yes.
what would you like to say something to them?
They've done well. They motivated us. They were so cooperative, even though sometimes they want to show that they have been at England, at America, and they had the popularity that, okay, Olu Jacobs acted in some of the African stories in England. Ayoko, Alilabia, and so on and so forth. Olu Jacob was in them. Sandals of the Rivers. Olu Jacob acted in Sandals of the Rivers. I can't know for sure what stories Joke Silva was in. But they came together and they were acting in England. That was well known.
What characters do you enjoy playing in your movies? Apart from the typical father figure in movies, what other characters you enjoy? Are you comfortable
I
playing?
didn't enjoy, I wouldn't say I enjoyed them. Because in most cases, they will give me the traditional role to play.
Were you
And how
happy-
many roles?
Were you
How
happy
many
with
roles?
them? Were you happy with them?
Of course, you are happy that they are giving you some small roles of about 6 scenes, sometimes 10 scenes, sometimes 12 scenes, 15 scenes, and they are giving you some petty money,
How much? With those roles, how much were you paid?
50 CDs,
Come again?
50 naira,
What year was this?
50,000 rather,
50K.
50,000 and so on. It
What
was
year
good
was
money
this?
though at that time. Are
What
you
year was
listening?
this?
Just
Yeah.
listen.
Okay.
We had a story we were shooting in Jos. Jos is very cold. They took us from Lagos to Jos. Jos was very cold. The person playing the lead role was Genevieve.
Oh,
Genevieve became one of the richest, in fact, the richest. Even though
Genevieve in
Motala, yes. Although Motala became the first female actress to start earning 1 million for every script. Are you listening? But Genevieve took over when she had this contract with the Americans. Even her Lux billboard was earning her $250,000 per month. Oh, they made money, oh. Before people like, what do you call it? Emeka Ike.
Jim Ayekenko. Do you have any regrets about your role in Nollywood, like you said, you were given the more traditional scenes.
Yes, every time, native doctor, native
Do
doctor.
you have regrets? Believe you me, I personally, I think you killed those roles. In fact, you killed that role. Anytime I saw you, I was scared of you when I was young growing up.
Yes.
Because you acted it so well. But
Not
did you
so well.
personally,
So real.
so real, thank you.
And I will tell you why. You are there. Okay, as I will tell you about this Jos scene. They took us to Jos. Not only, Genevieve was to earn 7,000 cedis, 7,000 naira. I was earning 50,000 naira. We got to Jos, and here was this girl, Hausa girl, beautiful, who could speak Hausa and English. Genevieve could not speak Hausa, but English. So, and you know, our so-called profession, one or two people or the head or whoever would want to have his way with Genevieve. Genevieve will not bulge or something. So she was dropped and to be sent to Lagos. From Jos. You know that journey? You don't know.
I do.
So here was Genevieve, devastated, crying. The weather was so cold, so I went. Carried Genevieve like this. I said, Genevieve, leave matter for Matthias. See, you are going to be one of the greatest actresses in this country. Don't worry, I'm going to talk to the director. Said he's even there. I'm going to talk to him. You won't go back to Lagos. But do whatever they tell you to do without giving yourself in.
Yeah.
So they reduced her fee from 7,000 to 5,000. If you like, take it. If not, go back. We'll send you back. That was. Then, 5 years later, she was being paid now 5,000. I was being paid 50,000. 5 years later, we acted another story where I was a father, old man, with a young girl, wife, Genevieve, and my son, what was this fair boy's name?
Ramsey Noah.
Ramsey Noah was my son, and was servicing my daughter. And she was being paid 2,500,000 naira, and I was being paid 50,000. How would you feel? And she became very rude.
She became arrogant.
Very, 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 very. Because she had money. She had money.
How was it like on set for that particular movie? If you say she was rude, she was arrogant, how
Not to me.
Okay, to the other.
No, generally.
Okay.
I was on wheelchair.
That's in the movie.
That is the story, yes.
Yeah.
And by contract, she was being paid 2.5 million.
Will you say you didn't negotiate well?
No.
Or she negotiated
Who is
better?
negotiating with you? If
Is-
you like,
is the
don't take the
offer.
50 cities they are giving you and see what hunger will teach you. Forget about this glamour you see about us. Most of us are hungry. Or most of us were hungry. But some of us fought to eat or fought it. Because you are doing your best. You are the soul. You are the soul of the story. Because watch it. Like the white man's film. His juju is gone. No African story you see without juju. No white man's film you see without gun. Therefore, you are just putting in. But because you force yourself to be good, here was I'm not an Igbo. I don't understand Igbo. And Nollywood is English stories, English language being spoken, married or intertwined with Igbo.
Yeah.
I don't understand Igbo. But sometimes I take from what they say and add to what I know. And at a time, I became still because there was a... So they will say, Uncle France, speak the words, speak the language of the gods. And I'll go like, hey, yes, hey, Uncle France, that one. That's the language of the gods.
I'm afraid.
Is it not funny? Is it not funny?
But that's you being innovative.
You have to devise something that would make people look at you extraordinary.
But that's talent.
Talent
That's a gift.
brewed out of hunger. Well, out of the fact that they are not paying you the way they should pay. And in most cases, okay. Then I say, all right. Then I was talented by, say, all right, I could give you topics. They will go, approve it, before you realize it's being done by somebody. Like, I was to shoot this thing with, for Jonathan, without a vote. Without a vote. See where Jonathan got to. From being cornered by his wife, who didn't go to school at all. But she became first lady. She became my friend.
Still friends?
No, friend that I'm one of her revered actor. Not. And people made money.
Uncle Frank, let's...
France.
Uncle France, I'm sorry.
Like France in Europe.
Yes, I'm sorry. You've spoken a lot about the Nigerian movie industry.
Yes.
And obviously, you've seen a number of, you've seen generations of actors and actresses,
yes.
and you've worked one-on-one with them.
Yes.
Let's come to Ghana. There is, when Omotola, Genevieve and Co. were making the name.
Yes. And money.
And money.
Yes.
There was Jackie
Good
Appiah,
money.
Good money. There was Jackie Appiah, Nadia. What are the names again?
They started going to Nigeria to give them money so that they can be put on screen.
The Ghanaians paid the Nigerian
Yes,
producers
that's
to
how
put
it
them
all
on screen.
started. And it adulterated the Nigerian film industry in such a way that now even they don't pay them anything.
They don't pay who anything.
They don't pay the Nigerian actors. They call them, they rebranded their name as Upcoming. It was sad. Not that it was sad, it is still sad. When Jonathan gave them, is it $3 billion? Yeah, $3 billion. No, 3 billion. 3 billion naira gave Nollywood. 3 billion. Take. That is when the girl became, and the girl is from his place anyway, became the chairman of Nollywood. 3 billion.
Oh, France.
Yes.
Our conversation is quite extensive, but what would you like to share to up and coming
Oh God, stop this up and coming thing. I hate to
young actors and actresses who are in the system now? People who do not necessarily know how to navigate their way around the system, both Nigeria and Ghana. We'll still delve into the issue of secession in Nigeria, Biafra, Oduduwa Republic, and your thoughts about this current Buhari administration, which many believe have done poorly. But what would you like to tell young actors, actresses who don't know how to navigate their way around this very, very, what's the word now? Tricky industry.
It is really tricky and adulterated, especially in Ghana. I don't know what has happened in Nigeria since I left. I've left, I think it's 8 years now, or 9 years, 2014.
Yeah, seven years.
The big actors have not done well. Big, rich, like Makai K and the rest. Oh, for God's sake. 3 billion, was it dollars? It was oil money. I think, okay, I think it's Naira. This guy gave Jonathan before he left. Oh, for God's sake. They would have built the film village. They would have made it good and great and so on. But it was all usurped by the big boys. What this fair boy?
Ramsey Noah.
Not Ramsey Noah. One Benin boy like this is always the place. And before we realize, they cheated the lower cadre. They cheated people like us. Sorry, fame, yes. A guy came and saw this life. This life is part of Super Story, where I told a boy to jump down, I'll catch him, and when he judged,
you told him never trust
anybody. He took me to Tanzania. 3 months. Yes, 3 months, 10 days. It was, come and see treatment. At the end of the day, he gave me $1,500. It was good. The biggest money I've ever received. Is it not an insult? Is it not an insult? I had something. I have them here, the scripts. The story of Obasanjo, how we escaped from Congo. I have them here.
We'll go through them.
To Nigeria, right? From Nigeria, he was the only person who was able to rule 3 times. Strong man, you can't mess up with him. Right? Jonathan went up to Mr. President without a vote. Do you know that? I have all those stories. They're here.
France, let's talk about the political landscape in Nigeria. Nigeria is going through a lot. The secession, Biafra have come again. Nnamdi Kanu, who is
a stupid man.
Who is the leader, has been arrested. Sunday Igboho, who is...
I don't know the Sunday Igboho.
So Sunday is basically leading... Well, he's not leading, but he has become a face of the revolution in the western part of Nigeria. That's Oduduwa Republic. And he was recently arrested in Benin. So he's standing trial for certain crimes and offenses. And
he now took the Awolowo place.
Well,
what? Oduduwa
Republic. And the clamor is there. Nigerians are saying, oh, we don't
Let's
need to
be
divide.
like before.
Nigerians are also saying we need to divide so that everybody can find their path.
Yes.
Some are also saying we need to unite. You are an octogenarian, if that's the right word.
Yes.
You have seen it
Yes.
through and through.
I also have a story about Fajui. Fajui died with Urusi.
But should Nigeria divide? Or should Nigeria be united?
Nigeria cannot unite. When Nigeria was divided, here was Awolowo pursuing his things and he was doing well. Here was Zik pursuing this thing with Okra and he was doing well. Here was Sadauna and Tafawa Balewa and they were doing well. The country was running. Oil came and the Igbos, as you know them. Let me tell you a story. You may believe it or not. When the oil came and the Igbo man's greed came up or resurrected or surfaced, Ojukwu, thinking that he was the most, probably the first intellectual soldier, he went to Oxford. Thought, yeah, now show these people. And his father was the second richest man in Nigeria. Thought, as an Igbo man, he could capture the East and rule as Biafra. Oh. Awolowo tried. Awolowo was Nkrumah's paddy. Nkrumah gave Awolowo money. Hence, treasonable felon. The Hausa man did not know violence until the Igbo man came with his Nzobu Nzobu Hengi Bahin. Are you listening? The Igbo man went so bad that when there was one September 29, 1963, after the coup, the Igbos went underground and started killing the senior officers of Hausas, or of Hausas, yes. And it resurrected a general, the whole North at the same time revolted and killed every Igbo man. And the coup came. The guy who killed Nzegu, who killed Saudana, was trained by Saudana from cradle to university as an officer. So much so that, well, you know, their juju thing or whatever, or Jira. When they bombed Awolowo's Saudana's house and he was not dying, he himself was not dying and so on, he said, he took his jackknife and that was how he killed Saudana. That blood is crying. Akintola, okay, he also died. Likewise, he was shot. I'm talking of the coup. Tafawa Balewa was also killed in cold blood. So, this, you know, Akintola, Tafawa Balewa, Saudana, one more person.
Awolowo was sent to prison.
Wait, no, leave Awolowo yet. Who was the Okochebo? Okochebo was the Minister of Finance. No Igbo man was killed. Okpara was not killed.
Zeke.
Zeke was informed. He ran away. Ironsi was not touched. No evil man was touched. And Fajui, because Ironsi was arrested in Fajui's house. So it was like it was all planned. It wasn't planned. And he volunteered to die. If you take this man from my house and you are going to kill him, kill me. Fajui died. I have all those stories here. Now, answer the question. No Igbo man was killed. If Nigeria comes together, would you have rest?
Our friends, I think this is all time will permit us. On this conversation, I must tell you I've been informed. There are certain things I never knew that I know now. And that is basically the reason why I decided to look for you and decided to speak to you. I appreciate you speaking to me. I appreciate your time. Believe in me, you are one of a kind.
In what way? In the fact that I've not really achieved what I want to. I've not touched anything I want to.
What do you want to achieve? What do you want to achieve? What's your greatest achievement? Or what do you dream of achieving?
If you are a Ghanaian, no, okay. There's no country called Ghana. That is what I'll achieve.
That's impossible.
Hey!
Now,
It is possible. Okay. Are you religious?
I am.
But you may not be spiritual.
Well, I am also.
There's a man who the whole world religiously claim that he's the father of all nations. Is that correct?
Abraham.
Good. What was his first name?
Abraham.
Abram.
Abraham, yeah. Until it was converted.
And God saw him
And said,
That's
from now
it.
you'll be called Abraham.
because he was selling idols and he didn't want it. And God said, this guy recognizes me. So when God visited him, he converted his name, rebranded, let me put that word, because as a journalist, rebranded his name to Abraham. And he said, come, let me take you to a land where I would
Give you.
I would give you and I would prosper you. Is that correct? His grandson, I'm sure by DNA nail or whatever, through his mother, Jacob, 419 his brother. And before you realize, he was to inherit the promised land.
Jacob and Esau.
And in the night, the Lord appeared unto him and changed his name Jacob because he can't use that Jacob into the promised land. Are you listening? To Israel. Saul was persecuting Christians because he said, you, Jesus Christ, capital son, where do you come from that you're coming to tell us things from when Moses told us this? My friend, so he was persecuting Christians. He was a witness to the death of Stephen. On his way to
He actually killed Stephen, and on his way to
Damascus,
to continue.
he was rebranded to become Paul and became the strongest apostles.
So meaning Ghana can rebrand. Is that what you're saying?
Must. If not, we shall be thinking Jacob, we shall be thinking Saul, we shall be behaving Abraham, selling idols, we shall be, what is the other one? We shall be Jacob, 419. So you say we don't think right. We don't think right. Sondiata and the rest, who had the first empire, richest empire in Africa or in the world, gold. Are you listening? The name was Ghana, G-A-N-A. Then Nkrumah added H to make it Ghana. God has accepted Nkrumah already. And the independence of Ghana will be meaningless unless it is linked with the total liberation of Africa. So seek ye first the political kingdom, and all other things will be ordered unto you. What has been added unto you after, is this 55 or 62 years?
Uncle France.
I'm coming.
Okay.
And all the coups in Africa was sponsored by seeking the political kingdom.
By who?
Huh?
By...
So Dudua. Are you listening? The coup. Hence, Awolowo went to prison for treason for felony. Sankara and Blaise. Do, Liberia. Sierra Leone. And so on and so forth. Mugabe. He schooled here, at the university here, in Winneba. Married a Ghanaian and so on, who never gave him even a child, and so on and so forth. Look at his country, Zimbabwe, and so on and so forth. Now look at the blood, all coming from Boko Haram, and things like that. I don't know whether you are getting it.
I do, I am.
Except the name of the country is rebranded. We are Gold Coastians. Let me tell you. When God chose the Israelites, he gave Saul, that is, as a king. So they say, we want a human king. You want a human king? Of all what I'm doing for you, fighting your wars for you, giving you food, giving everything, you still want a human being? They say, yes, we want. Okay, a human king will take everything from you. Saul was chosen before we realized exactly what God said. So God left him. Because the women, God said he should kill, he didn't kill them. He got the most beautiful, the cattle, everything. So God said, all right, no problem. Hey, David, come.
I'll raise you.
He changed him. Our name was Gold Coast. The Portuguese king saw gold at Elmina, named it Elmina. The British took over from Elmina. Are you listening? And named it Gold Coast. Right? You, Nkrumah, that God promoted you to become to have your doctorate degree, PhD in theology. Come to think of it, okay, agreed. You are a Liberian. Your father is a Liberian. You came, change the name to Ghana. Instead of the Ghana, if he has been named the Ghana, G-A-N-A, fine. To Ghana. God has accepted Nkrumah already. So seek ye first the political kingdom. Now the political kingdom, look at the number of people still dying from Boko Haram. The blood, it's powerful. It's asking questions.
This conversation has been interesting. Believe you me, whether I like it or not, I know you have been informed. My name is Babatunde Adeola, and I've been speaking to the veteran actor, is somebody who has a lot of information in him, Mr. Emmanuel France. I'll see you later.